Hey guys, Sasha here from the Balanced Canine, and I've got Little Man here joining me today. Now, there's been some stuff going on overnight that we've just been learning about with Blackhawk Salmon Kibbles. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to have a little bit of a chat to you about what potentially could be going on and some things as a consumer that you could be doing as well. So we don't know a lot at the moment. There's just been this news report that's come out of Perth that has said that Blackhawk salmon customers have got sick. We don't know what kind of illness, we don't know anything else. This is very fresh information. Now, prior to doing this video, I did jump on the website and also Facebook group of, and Gavin's joining us now as well, of Blackhawk, and there's no media releases there whatsoever. I am a little bit disappointed by that, because if I was a Blackhawk customer, then I definitely would be wanting some more information about what's going on. Even if they can't provide a lot, do they have any batch numbers? Do they have any expiry dates? Do I need to stop feeding it, or should I continue to feed it and just watch my dog? Those are the kind of things that I would want to know as a Blackhawk customer right now. Now, just keep in mind, it's not all Blackhawk customers, it is just their salmon range, okay? So what we could be looking at is a salmon meal issue. There's potentially something wrong with it. And what a lot of people don't know who feed kibble is that a lot of people will actually just use the same supplier. So any kibble in Australia that is using Australian salmon meal, because you can't import it, is going to be affected by this issue, okay, as far as I know. So you think of all those kibbles that have salmon meal, if they're high in meat contents, that this could be a bit of a problem. And just prior to doing this video, another release just came out, and that was from Prime 100. Now, Prime 100 had recently just released their range of kibble, and what they're actually doing, because they haven't had the issues that Blackhawk have had, from what we can tell, but because they use the same supplier as Blackhawk, they've actually decided to just put aside their stock at this time until they can learn more about if this is a salmon meal issue. So I think as consumers of kibble right now that has salmon meal in it, you probably want to be touching base with your kibble company if they haven't already released a media release, and find out if you need to actually stop feeding this, or whether you can proceed with caution or what have you. I think right now, if I was a kibble feeder and I had salmon kibble, I would be putting it to the side right now. Okay, now what's really concerning is that this isn't, you want to go have a look? Off you go, come on. This isn't the first time in recent times that kibble has had an issue. Now, it wasn't that long ago that Advanced Dermocare had to pull their entire range off the shelves, and it still hasn't come back. And that was because a lot of their dogs that were eating it had actually started to experience a really heartbreaking condition called megaesophagus. Now, this is where the esophagus doesn't actually work properly, and in some dogs it can be managed with certain management techniques of how the dog is positioned when it's eating, and in other dogs it's so bad that they have to be put to sleep. And that's just the most heartbreaking thing. And I think as pet owners, we really felt that when the whole Advanced Dermocare thing was happening. I think it's scary times at the moment in terms of kibble. Little, did you want to come back? Come and talk to me. Thank you. Because I think consumer confidence is at an all-time low at the moment, and I think so it should be. You know, we are dealing with a processed product. There are going to be issues at some point or another. So what do you do to kind of manage these risks? Well, you have to know, if you're feeding kibble, a processed diet, there are going to be issues. You need to be aware of that, and you need to accept it if that's what you're going to feed. And I think it really is that straightforward. I would be choosing a company that is transparent enough that when stuff happens, they're at the forefront of this. They're onto it. They're pulling their stock off the shelves. They're quarantining it. Blackhawk has quarantined it. So far, Prime 100 has just decided to pull all their stock just in case. I like that. That's proactive. We love it. You know, those are the companies that I want to see. I don't want to see what happened with Advanced Dermocare, where all these dogs got sick for such a long period of time, And it wasn't until it really came out in the media that they seemed to actually be pushed into doing anything. And I'm not even sure it was more so the media, but whose dogs were getting sick. It was a police force. They were losing their dogs to this disease. So I think the industry has probably learned some lessons from the Advanced Dermacare range. Okay, now as you guys know, I am a fresh food feeder. I'm not totally against kibble. I definitely feel that as pet parents we can make some better choices, and sometimes kibble is the only thing that people feel that they can be for a number of different reasons. What I would always suggest to pet parents is take at least 20% of that kibble out and replace it with some fresh food like meat, eggs, some mashed blended vegetables, things that dogs are actually meant to eat, things that are not processed, things that their digestive systems were perfectly created by Mother Nature to actually digest and absorb those nutrients properly, okay? For the people that are really, really worried, maybe you were actually affected by the Advanced Dermacare situation. Perhaps you're now being affected by the Blackhawk situation. Perhaps you're ready to go to a diet that these guys are meant to eat. Call it whatever you want, a fresh food diet, a natural diet, an ancestral diet, a raw diet, a fresh cooked diet. I don't care. It's just a natural diet. Seriously, Mother Nature perfected this creature to consume fresh food, okay? The bacteria in this dog's stomach is perfectly designed to consume raw food safely, okay? You guys see what dogs eat. You don't have to be concerned here. In terms of the number of issues that we're seeing through kibble, not just here in Australia but overseas, it would definitely make me as a consumer want to take full control of what I'm putting in these guys' tummies, okay? This dude is around about 9 years old. Gosh, I love this guy to bits. I got him as a young dog from a pound. He was a foster dog, and he ended up staying. Didn't you? Yes, you did. I couldn't imagine anything happening to this little man. He's such a big part of my life. And I know that your guys' dogs are such an important part of your life as well, and you don't want anything to happen to them. But sometimes you feel just so scared about making changes to their diets because you're worried that it's going to do something horrific to them. Is staying on the diet that is hurting them in the long term more of a concern? I think it is, okay? So I'm going to pop up a link, okay? I'm going to pop up a link to our fresh food feeding group. It helps people learn how to add fresh food to their existing kibble diet. And maybe over time, as you learn more and you develop more confidence with feeding fresh food, perhaps you'll take that next step and actually feed a completely fresh diet, okay? If you need any help, just ask. There's qualified people like me in nutrition, in canine nutrition, that are here ready to help you, and we're going to do it for free because we care that much about you, okay? We're not kibble haters. If you still want to feed kibble, we're totally okay with that. We're just going to try and help you reduce that kibble amount and put fresh food in your diet. Just like in a human diet, you inherently know what is a healthy diet and what isn't a healthy diet, and you know, by adding little bits and pieces of a healthy diet will create healthy eating habits over time, okay? Let us help you. You don't have to be scared, okay? But let's end this with Blackhawk. Guys, you need to be communicating with your consumers. You have nothing on your website or Facebook at the time of this video. I'm sure that you have a lot of really, really worried pet parents. They're worried about dudes like this. They're worried about them getting sick. They're worried about them dying. Something happening like what happened with Advanced Dermacare. So you guys, you need to communicate. I want to give full props to Prime 100 for taking their stock away and quarantining it until a time that it is discovered what is going on. Is it just the salmon meal? Is it something else? Okay. Alright guys, if you have any questions, post them below, but if you have any product questions, you need to direct them directly to your kibble company. So this is just a salmon meal issue, I think, for the time being. Alright. So let's not just get hysterical and go, oh my god, I can't feed kangaroo, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's just the salmon meal. It's got nothing to do with cooked rolls or anything like that. It's just the kibble, and it's just the salmon meal ones, okay? Alright guys, I hope that we have been helpful to you today, and we hope that you start adding some fresh food to your dog's diet, okay? Have a good one.